Schultz finalist. And we're off in Strawberry Canyon. Kickoff fielded cleanly by blindside flanker Luke Freeman. And Cal's going to go to work early with their forward pack.
Yeah, we, having talked to Jack Clark before the game, had an opportunity that he emphasized they really need to stay on the front foot this afternoon with these guys.
Absolutely. It looks like Cal making their intent known, eager to run out of their own end through Rand Santos. Pretty untidy at the breakdown. A lot of pressure from BYU.
Possession today is going to be very important as to what these teams do with it. And Cal traditionally will not kick out of their defensive zone here. They're going to keep on pounding the ball, move the ball.
A lot of pressure from Max Schumacher early in, gobbled up by BYU. Locked, I think that's Mike Biaggi. Cal does well to maintain possession. Stringing these phases through here, getting into their exit protocols.
There's a 3-on-2 with some space.
Good space, good run from Joe Kirsten. Finds his winger on the right side. I think that's Max Clark.
A little bit, maybe a little bit high up around the shoulders and neck with that tackle, giving Cal the first opportunity for a penalty to place themselves down further down the field.
Absolutely. Good exit strategy there from the Bears. Rich, patient in that exit, speaks specifically to one of the victory conditions that we heard from Coach Clark earlier today.
Yeah, they just maintained possession until they were had an opportunity to get that 3-on-2, find some space. And they really do have to keep BYU on their heels today if they've got an opportunity to stay in this game and hopefully get a win to take on Navy.
First attacking line out of the afternoon. Important first throw for freshman Cade Christ. Finds his jumper. Quick ball into the midfield for the Bears.
Nice space.
Here goes Evan Weigold. Evan Weigold with space on his outside.
Oh, nice off the foot. Got a good bounce. And he got it.
The man on the ball.
I think that was Aguero. Was that the 8-man Aguero?
Alex Aguero, the number 8, picking up the first try of the afternoon.
Spectacular. We may see this on the replay here. The space is created. And what we really don't see very often in collegiate rugby is footwork. And when this pass goes a little forward and off his foot, that's beautiful. And they got a beautiful bounce right to Aguero's arms.
Aguero, the man on the spot, picking up his 8th try of the season. Always on the boil. Seems to have a nose for the ball, does Aguero.
A little breezy today for our number 10 here, Max Schumacher for the kick, a lefty. Cal has flags up on the top of the post for wind, but they don't move. They look permanent. Oh, nicely struck.
It's a good strike from Schumacher. The flags go up for Max Schumacher, as they often do. It's 7-0 in favor of the Bears. 3.5 minutes gone in this first half.
What an excellent start for the Bears. They were pinned down. It looked like BYU was going to be relentless on their defense. And as soon as the gaps opened up, Cal struck quickly.
Perry with the restart again, finding Freeman. Bears eager to work their forward pack around the fringes of the ruck. That looks like Pat Dealey taking a turn now. Williams will move it wide. Another good tackle from Biaggi. Max Clark does well to get work off of the touchline, keeping the ball alive for his side. Williams with the wide ball into Shea. Met well by Ben Austin, the captain for BYU. Bears eager to go wide. Santos into Aguero again. Aguero passes halfway.
Bears are doing a great job.
Pat Dealey. Dealey slicing through the Cougar defense.
He's got support.
Alive. Good patience from Dealey on the deck. Williams wants to work the short side.
Oh, nice dummy.
Good bit of skill from Charlie Walsh, the front rower. Big Tom Dixon with the carry, met by a strong Cougar defense. Shea taking another turn. 5 meters out now are the Bears. Cal Leibowitz met hard by the Cougar blindside flanker Brooke Vaitohi.
And what we're seeing here from our talk with Jack Clark is the physicality of BYU that he was expecting.
Nice wide ball. Joe Kirsten carrying into the tooth of defense. It's a good tackle from the center pairing of Samu and Campbell. Williams wants to reverse direction again. It's a show and go from the big lock, Pat Deely. Cougars doing a good job of remaining patient in defense.
Referee whistling up of the tackle up around the shoulders and neck to penalize. Cal has choices here. They can kick for posts or they can run a direct play, and they're going to go with, looks like a direct play right off the boot.
It's a wide ball for Santos.
Oh, nice step.
Good step from Rand Santos, the freshman. Looked to be an inside and an outside, hard off that left foot. Rand Santos picking up 5 more points for the Bears.
What a quick start for Cal. The physicality, what I'm seeing at the start here, Keegan, is Cal was expecting BYU to come in really, really hard with their defense. And what they're doing is BYU is actually coming in really hard. And in drawing those defenders, they're finding space wide.
Absolutely. You know, Rich, I think back to our conversation with Coach Clark this morning, really speaks to the patience in attack and defense that the Bears are looking to exhibit today. You can see the Cougars are bringing the physicality to the match. I think we're in for a good contest this afternoon.
Yeah. And one thing the BYU coach had mentioned is these guys really have gelled. They are by no means out of this game so early. We're going to see fight out of the Cougars. Definitely expected.
Slightly more difficult kick for the left-footed Schumacher.
That's well struck, too. Is it going to get the inside? Oh, just wide.
Schumacher unable to work that draw off his left boot. Keeps our score 12-0.
Nice step on the try on the replay here. Unlike American football, what I've mentioned in the past, Keegan, for some of our newer people watching rugby as the kickoff happens here, if you score, you actually get the ball back, as opposed to American football. When you score, you kick off to the team that did not score.
Rewarding the effort and rewarding the possession. Another infringement spotted by referee Tyler Ciccarella. Dinging the Cougars here, gives another exit opportunity for Max Schumacher and his Bears. Looks like he's shaping to kick the ball to touch. Rich, this ball goes into touch. Again, the Bears will be able to maintain possession. Yeah,
when you get to games at this level, here we are playing for a spot in the national championship. Reduction of errors is key. And as we start out here, unfortunately, the Cougars have caused a couple penalties, giving Cal the opportunity for a better position down the field.
8 minutes gone on the clock, and the Cougars have done little attack so far. Here come the Bears again, crossing midfield from a strong carry. Emilio Shea, the front rower. Yep. Another penalty spotted by referee Ciccarella. Interesting to see what the Bears might opt for here. Of course, another opportunity to kick to touch. Maybe an opportunity to kick at goal and pick up 3 points, although it looks like Max Schumacher, the level head, wants to keep the pressure on the Cougars.
Yeah, this is a nice opportunity to get a good angle from a left footer over into the corner. Nice. Just outside, right in between the 5 and the 22.
About 15 meters out, Rich. A couple of options for the Bears. Certainly the opportunity to continue to work the midfield attack, but maybe bring the ball down and maul.
I haven't seen a maul for a while from Cal. They didn't do one much. They didn't do one against St. Mary's either, because they're finding space.
Yeah, especially with runs like that from Alex Aguero. Brought down at the 5-meter line. Looks like that ball popped out, but jumped on by a Bear. Another infringement by BYU.
And now rolling away off the tackler on that one. When you're tackled in rugby, you have to release the ball carrier, and the ball carrier needs to release the ball pretty immediately.
Bears want to go quick again. Good job of Santos keeping the ball
2
alive, finding his captain, Schumacher. I think that's Tom Dixon with the carry into the Cougar defense. Nice wide ball from Williams. Aguero with another touch. So many touches early in this contest. Santos takes the ball flat. Bit of a stutter step. Brought down well by Ben Austin, the Cougar 8th man. Looks like a knock on from Cal. Cougars doing well to withstand that attack.
Their defense held up. Cal trying to set something up where they had runners off both shoulders. But unfortunately, a knock on. And when a knock on occurs, that we have one of our first scrums of the afternoon.
You know, Rich, I'm thinking it's, over 10 minutes gone in today's contest, maybe the first attacking opportunity for BYU.
This is. The Cal's had perhaps 80% of the ball possession so far.
Looks like Ben Austin, the captain and 8th man, picking from the base of that scrum. Fontaine's going to work his forward pack, perhaps working a more preferable angle for their exit strategy. It's a good kick from the fly half. Wyatt Perry exiting their 22. It's going to be an attacking line out for the Bears.
Yeah, BYU, I think, tried to run out of their defensive zone like Cal did, but the last thing I want to do is give Cal the ball back. But unfortunately, that was the choice they chose.
That's right. Another opportunity for freshman Cade Christ, the hooker out of San Diego, California, to work his jumper Luke Freeman. Looks like they're going to do so again here. Although unable to hit his mark is Christ. Ball's gathered up by the open side flanker Carter Beck for BYU. Comes a big run from Billy Tenney. Rich, expect us to call his name a lot this afternoon.
Yeah, and these are the things that Jack Clark had mentioned, is when BYU gets the ball and they hit contact with shoulders, they still get 4, 5, 6 meters going forward.
The word I think he used was powerful. Powerful in attack, powerful in defense. And I think that scouting report adds up. You look at the size and makeup of this forward pack from BYU.
Oh, yeah, I don't know anybody that want to go against number 3 there. And that's Billy Tenney, one of the beasts we're going to watch this afternoon. The hooker throwing the ball in.
Looks like Tenney taking over throw-in duties as well for his side. Finding Austin. BYU's going to deploy their rolling maul. Gaining meters is BYU approaching the Cal 22.
Well done. And so long as this moves forward, the referee will talk to the forward pack as to forward movement. So long as it keeps moving forward, BYU's in good shape.
Strider Fontaine, the scrum half, marshaling his troops from the base of that. Now wants it and wants to go. Nice spot ball out the back to Perry. Perry executing his wit. Good tackle from Max Clark on Brock Vaitohi. Fontaine into Perry.
A nice pressure defense there from the centers.
Another infringement spotted by the man in the middle, Ciccarella. Curious to see what BYU does here. Should they pick up 3 points, would be a chip shot, but looks like they're making their intentions known as inside center Cole Semu sends the ball into touch.
Yeah, I think right after that maul we just saw where they marched down 10 or 15 meters, they're hoping to do that right here off this line out and try to punch in a try. And it was effective because they were able to pull in enough of the Cal defenders to create the space on the outside for the back line.
It's an excellent attacking platform for BYU, 5 meters out of the try line. Billy Tenney again with the throw.
Oh, going long with it.
Finds his jumper, Austin. Now the big men up front will go to work.
You got to go forward. They're pushing, and they're in.
They're over. That's 5 points for BYU by way of Billy Tenney. We tried to warn you. I think we're going to be mentioning his name a lot this afternoon. Hanging out at the back of that ruck.
That was really well done. He tossed the ball in. It went a little farther into probably the 7 spot, and he came around after throwing the ball in. See it on the replay here, perhaps. So after throwing the ball in, Tenney will come around and lost it there. Get possession of it, and they drove it in.
First attempt at goal for the BYU fullback, Tayson Hammer.
Having watched Tayson when he played St. Mary's, I gestured that his kicking style looks much like a 7-iron, about 150 yards out from the green. He's got a really interesting smooth stroke.
Yeah, I got it. Good. When?
He just hooked it in. Great kick.
Broadcast brought to you by 8x8 Sports. Today's championship matches are brought to you by 8x8 Sports, the presenting sponsor and official apparel partner of the Collegiate Rugby Championships. 8x8 Sports. We move you forward. It's 12-7 Bears. A little over a quarter hour gone as Schumacher's going to get us restarted here. Good kick reception under a tremendous amount of pressure from the BYU winger, Tielu Sagala. Now they want to move the ball wide. Here's Campbell. Good tackle by Weigold on the fullback Hammer. As the Bears bring them down just inside that 5-meter tram. BYU showing signs of wanting to run, even in their own end. Unable to connect on the skills. Looks like a skill breakdown there, Rich, deep in BYU territory.
Yeah, tough knock on right there. They had good pressure by Cal defense, and when he passed off the tackle, just went off the player's front hands.
Interesting opportunity here for the Bears. Scrum center deep in territory, as I mentioned. Opportunities left and right for the Bears. We'll be curious to see which way they move off this attacking scrum. Looks like Schumacher and Santos are stacked directly behind the scrum.
So our referee, Tyler Ciccarella, talking to the front row. Front rows are made up of 3 players. The guy in the center is the hooker. You have a loose head prop on the left and a tight head prop on the right. Making sure their shoulders are square as they come together with a call by the referee. Crouch, bind, and set.
Solomon Williams with the put in. As that split occurs, we've got Schumacher down this left side. It looks like a bit of space. Max Clark, good left step off the touchline, keeping his legs alive after contact. Brought down about a meter outside. Illegally done so, rules referee Ciccarella.
I couldn't tell on that. It looked like he dragged him a little bit as he tried to help as a supporting player coming in. He may have grabbed his shoulders and helped him forward a little bit.
Sounds like that's the Bay from the Cal sideline as well.
Oh, it was actually the BYU player dragging him along.
With that kick from Semu, BYU unable to exit their territory, but they will retain possession. Tenney, another opportunity at the line of touch for BYU. Finds his jumper, Ben Austin. BYU wants to run inside their 22. Good straight line from center, John Campbell, the outside center for the Cougars. Fontaine with the wide ball.
Yeah, you can see from that breakdown, BYU's only committing 2 guys to the breakdown, and everybody's in the back line ready to move the ball.
You know, I think that that breakdown commitment, Rich, speaks to Coach St. Pierre's comments of wanting to dominate the contact area and dominate physically. Here's big Mike Biaggi with a carry as BYU crosses the 22. Fontaine trying to find a fracture in the Cal defense. Ball finds its way to ground, but gobbled up by John Campbell. Here's the hooker, Lilo Clark.
And as we see these different phases develop by BYU, they're just very slowly going forward.
Good kick from Fontaine. Finds a waiting Joe Kirsten. Does well to beat his first man. Unable to stay in touch. It looks like we've got the assistant referee's flag up. I think that's Morris Fuller on the far touchline, indicating Kirsten was unable to stay in bounds.
Oh, he did a great job to step the first couple defenders coming at him, but just lost it on the pass.
I think he just ran out of space on that far touchline. Regardless, it's a turnover by the Bears. Another attacking line out for BYU with Tenney with a throw-in.
Not necessarily the prettiest way to get the ball moving down the field, but BYU's in a good attacking position here.
Yeah, coming out ahead of that kicking exchange, a good look from the scrum half Fontaine. Tenney unable to find his mark, jumped on by the scrum half Solomon Williams. Another whistle from Ciccarella. Unclear what the infraction was.
I thought I saw the referee's hand motion it forward. The ball had gone forward.
Plenty of discussion with the Cal captain, Max Schumacher.
And if the ball isn't put in straight, for our viewers who aren't familiar, Cal has a choice. They can either have their own throw in, or they can have a scrum at the 15-meter.
Looks like a turnover in possession.
Oh, interesting.
A knock on by the Bears.
I don't know. BYU retaining possession.
Regardless, an attacking opportunity for BYU just inside Cal territory. Looks like the BYU left wing, Connor Oliveira, has come off of his wing and joined the back line for a second layer of attack. Unable to find his man is Perry. Here comes big Sagala, the winger for BYU. Perry now into Carter Beck. Fontaine to Perry. Here's Tenney. Semu
3 on 2.
Read well by Evan Weigold, unable to bring the man down. Perry now into his lock, Kyle Clintworth. Another infringement spotted by referee Ciccarella directly in front of the post, about halfway between the Cal 22 and 10 meter. Looks like Semu, the center, is shaping for a kick to that left touchline.
Oh, beautiful kick. And now here we come. I bet here we see them all. Here it comes.
I'll bet you're right. BYU seeing a ton of success in the early exchanges from the lineout. Perhaps another opportunity to deploy their rolling maul only about 10 meters out of the Cal try line.
Nice throw. Slow to develop.
Advantage being played by referee Ciccarella. Perry to Semu here. Quick ball for BYU. Numbers on the outside if they can use it. As Hammer steps underneath. 5 meters out now are BYU. Here comes
he had
big
some
Billy
pace.
Tenney. Front rower on front rower as he runs into some hard shoulders from Emilio Shea. 2 meters out now are the Cougars. Here's Campbell.
Oh, a nice miss.
Semu, unable to connect. The Semu, Evan Weigold gobbled up. Looks like we're coming back for a penalty. No one told Weigold, though, as he's playing on.
I missed the penalty
for that advantage.
I didn't see the ref was paying advantage on one of those breakdowns. Cal rooters are not happy with that.
Yeah, no surprise from the hometown fans here in Strawberry Canyon.
They wanted to see somebody go 80.
I don't blame them. Makes for an exciting match. BYU looks like they're going to shape for another touch finder. Probably another opportunity for them to use that rolling maul that's worked so well.
Yeah, that last one didn't develop perhaps as quickly as they wanted to, and Cal got their defensive position set pretty quickly.
You know, Rich, I think back to our comments from Steve St. Pierre this morning. I think their domination of the set piece and bringing physicality to the match About 25 minutes gone in this first half. I think we're seeing it.
Yeah, and this is the things that correspondingly on the defensive side, Coach Clark said, we've got to get shoulders in there because these guys come hard.
Here comes that rolling maul from the Cougars. Doing a good job to remain patient.
Oh, it's rolling.
Their attack, and here it goes, splitting off to the left side. Can't be far out now.
I hear a whistle.
Cheers from the Cal sideline. Looks like it might be ruled held up in the try zone.
Oh, try awarded.
Of course, as I say that, the commentators curse. Try awarded to BYU. Unclear who dotted that ball down. Tenney was the man at the back of that ruck, or excuse me, that maul. Would be no surprise if he picked up a second. Perhaps an opportunity to pick up the replay. I think that's Big Tenney at the back, Rich.
Yeah, but as it rolls left, it'll pop out and roll left, and I don't know if he remains with possession of the ball or if it goes to somebody else right there. Is that still Tenney?
I think it is. Oh, no, it looks like a second movement. Maybe he had an opportunity to place it. Unclear, but good execution of the rolling maul from BYU. I think, Rich, maybe the third or fourth time we've seen that tactic from the Cougars.
Got quite an angle kick here for Tenney. Tyson Hammer. He must have shanked it because the Cal crowd let him know it as soon as it struck off the foot off the ball.
That's right. The fans in that west try zone informing the ARs that they do, in fact, need to keep their flags down for that attempt. It's 12 all.
Just a little bit beyond halfway.
27 minutes gone in the first half action of this semifinal. As Max Schumacher will get things underway. It's a good kick from Schumacher. Gathered very tidily by the eighth man, Ben Austin. Now here come the Cougars again on attack. It's a good carry from Gabe Mahuinga, the front rower for the Cougars. Flat ball now for Perry. Finds Beck, his open side flanker.
What we've seen this so far, Keegan, is the emphasis of how important possession is. Cal had it at the start for a good 10 minutes, and now BYU has had it now for a good 10 or so minutes. And knocking the ball forward, Cal will get possession.
As you say it, Rich, isn't that the way how it goes?
Rich, I hope I didn't give it the announcer's chinks, and as soon as I talk about it, they lose it.
Yeah, you probably owe that Cougar an apology afterwards, but it's a knock-on by BYU. Turnover and possession for the Bears, just inside Cougar territory. Scrum right on the intersection of the 10-meter line and 15-meter line. Bears back line looking flat and keen as Solomon Williams with the input to the scrum. Williams wants to use his back line. Nice flat ball from Schumacher into an awaiting Joe Kirsten.
Defender leaving his feet, coming in off the tackle, trying to get that ball.
I think that's the Cougar fly-off. Wyatt Perry, as the Cal 10, Max Schumacher, will send this ball into touch. Rich, kind of a neat story in today's matchup. Both fly halves, Rudy Schultz nominees. Both fly halves, Rudy Schultz finalists.
That's spectacular. Well deserving, those two guys.
It's a great
beautiful kick.
Right at the 5-meter. It's an excellent attacking opportunity for the Bears to work their line out. Curious, Rich, if we'll see the rolling maul from the Bears.
Yeah, I didn't see it last week against St. Mary's. I don't know if that's one of their definitive plays here within 5 meters or if they're just going to bring it down to get some crashing forwards off of it.
Plenty of forwards in the midfield for the Bears. Freeman's going to bring it down as Aguero carries into a waiting Cougar defense. Looks like that ball squirted out, jumped on cleverly by Solomon Williams. Emilio Shea with a big carry.
Oh, good defense by BYU to hold him up. They do have numbers on the outside.
Cal eager to work their forward pack.
I think the Bears would rather score underneath the post.
I think that's right. As Aguero takes a wide ball on the outside. It's a flat look from Keelan O'Connell.
Did he get a stretch? He did. Keelan O'Connell, he got tripped up, but he stretched out and got the ball over the try line.
Really good patient attack from the Bears coming off of that line out. It's an excellent kick from Max Schumacher from that penalty 5 meters out for his side. Good patience from the Bears forward pack as we see it here on the replay.
And they had the numbers on the outside the whole time. They wanted, I think, score under the post, but when it came out, it gets tripped up. And all you have to do in rugby is get that ball touched down over the line.
It's a good try from Keelan O'Connell, the sophomore, the local boy out of San Francisco, California. Rich,
there we
your
go.
hometown.
We do have a beautiful view of San Francisco today with the fog rolling in through the Golden Gate. A little breezy this afternoon here in Cal Berkeley.
The famous San Francisco fog, affectionately known as Carl.
Carl the Fog,
locals.
yes.
Schumacher now with a slightly easier kick, playing to the natural draw of a left-footed striker.
One-two step, and it's through.
The flag
Cal goes
for
up.
Schumacher. It's 19-12
Full try.
in favor of the Bears, just as you said, Rich. That's a converted try.
USD Rugby League.
USA Rugby, proud to partner with Collegiate Rugby Association of America for the 2023 championships. With future USA Eagles taking the pitch today, we are pleased to support this incredible experience for all student athletes. Learn more about the USA Eagles and how you can get involved with USA Rugby.
And a lot of these guys will. They're going to go on and play Major League Rugby. Maybe they may get chosen for the national team.
7s and 15s. Potentially some future Olympians on the pitch this afternoon. Cal unable to exit out of their territory. Penalty caught by the ref right at the Cal 22.
And regardless of which of these teams goes into the Nationals, the protocol this year in 2 weeks in Houston is to have both 15s and 7s. And have a lot of 7s down in Sabercat Stadium in Houston where the Nationals are going to be held.
It'll be a great weekend of rugby on display, no doubt.
Wow, what an opportunity here for BYU to get points right after Cal scored.
Rich, I'll give you two guesses as to the tactic we may see from the
Oh, that was
Cougars.
a fancy pass back into the front row.
No go forward from the Cougars, so Semu will carry into the Cal midfield. Perry now wants to run.
Oh, off angles.
Unable to keep the ball alive to Hammer. Ball falling
Try awarded.
fortuitously into the blindside flanker for the Cougars, Brooke Vaituhi. And the Bears respond with a try of their, the Cougars respond with a try of their own.
And we'll see here, I think on the replay here, when he's in the tackle, it pops up, but it goes backwards. He gets through the gap here. And it went off the Cal player, and then it went off a Cougar, but landed apparently going backwards into the next Cougar hands.
No picture on the scorecard. It's 5 points either way, each side swapping tries as we approach halftime. Taysom Hammer, the fullback. That breeze may be upgraded to a wind now, Rich.
It's
coming
getting
off
there.
the mighty
Yeah, for
Pacific.
second half, it'll be a little windier. The fog's rolling in. Just right of the posts. And we're tied up.
We are tied up. It's 19 all. 5.5 minutes remain in first half action here at Witter Rugby Field in Berkeley.
You know, in the first 5 or 10 minutes, when Cal had scored 2 tries, I said, BYU's going to have some fight in them, and they certainly have. We got a ball game.
Absolutely. It's all we can ask for in a semifinal. Schumacher's going to get things underway. Collected calmly by the inside center, Semu. Bays for obstruction. From the Bears sideline, go unnoticed by Ciccarella as the Cougars work their way out of their own territory. Neither side too keen to kick out of their own territory, Rich, both showing an eagerness to run the ball out.
Yeah, if there's not an excuse to give possession over to the other team, if it's not a tactical kick for touch or to get it downfield in a attacking format, they're not just going to kick it to get out of their own defensive zone. And as soon as I say that.
Especially given the attacking weapons of both sides.
Yep.
As that ball is contested.
And playing advantage on a knock-on, perhaps. Yep.
Looks like a knock-on by BYU.
Copy that.
Another attacking scrum for the Bears just inside Cougar territory.
Yeah, kicking in collegiate rugby is truly a skill, because if you're kicking an open field, it could be a nightmare. You kick it away, and if it doesn't find touch, oftentimes your players who were on offense are now in a terrible defensive position, and the team receiving the ball starts finding gaps to quickly attack. So we don't see it very often.
Especially when we've got attacking weapons like Joe Kirsten for the Bears, dubbed the Speedster on this side. Similarly, Taysom Hammer for BYU. And of course, you can't talk about deep three weapons, Rich, without mentioning Tielu Sagala.
Yeah, he's quite a wing for BYU.
All the pace and all the power for the Cougars. As Cal's going to work that touch finder, another attacking line out just inside the BYU 22.
Cal shooting to put some more points up right before halftime here. Let's see how this unfolds.
Dubbed not straight by referee Ciccarella.
Or there was infraction on one of the guys supporting in the line out.
It's a good get out of jail free card there for BYU, an opportunity to exit their 22. With no pressure, the kick from Semu. Unable to cross halfway is Semu. Regardless, it's a good attacking platform for the Cougars. Should be a Cal ball.
It should, because that was an infraction. It was an indirect kick. And when I went into touch, yeah, it's a Cal ball.
That's right.
Was not a direct penalty.
Second time in many weeks we've seen this. Hey, Rich, I think we saw a similar confusion last weekend against the Bears.
We did. That was on a mark, called mark. Yeah.
That's right. Again, dubbed not straight by Ciccarella. That's 2 in a row for Cade Christ.
I don't know if this breeze is messing a little bit with the line out or not. I don't know. I can't. Up here where we are in the booth, it's a little breezy. I don't know about the field.
Tends to swirl in Strawberry Canyon. As we'll pack down for an attacking scrum for BYU.
A good shot at the scrum just off the midfield here.
It's a good scrum from both sides. Gobbled up by Semu as he carries over halfway. Here comes Oliveira for the Cougars, keeping the attacking platform alive for BYU.
Oh, knocked it forward.
Biaggi unable to hold
playing in the advantage.
Here comes big Emilio Shea. Tough to bring that man down with a head of steam. Cal Leibowitz picks from the base. He himself unable to hold on to the ball.
And Hilson, that knocked forward as well.
Find a thriving culinary scene, fabulous shopping, and unique year-round events and affordable hotels at visitpearland.com. Prepare to love it. Pearland Convention and Business Bureau, the official event partner of the CRAA Championship Weekend.
It's a nice little area. We went down last year, the championships. Pearland's a nice little area.
just outside of Houston, of course, in the great state of Texas. Tom Dixon, the Cal second rower, coming out of the Woodlands just north of Houston. Strider Fontaine, the freshman scrum half for BYU, eager to get this ball in. Perhaps a last opportunity to launch an attacking campaign before halftime.
Yeah, this might be our last possession here.
Rich, the first half has flown by. No side really gaining the ascendancy, each trading blows.
What a great first half of rugby.
Here's Fontaine now, wide to his fly half. Perry, quick give and go from Campbell, unable to connect on a hard line by Hammer. It's a
knock forward, and that's our halftime. What a great first half. Sorry, folks watching perhaps in Navy to see who you're going to play. We don't know yet. 19-19 at halftime.
Are we in break, Robert?
Once a small community just south of Houston, Pearland has grown into a destination city, attracting visitors to the energy and diversity of a large city, while serving up the warmth and welcoming spirit of Texas hospitality, accommodations, proximity to Houston, and a community focused on fun and leisure activities. Pearland is your best bet when visiting the region. Visit Pearland online and plan your trip. We're ready to show you what we're all about. Pearland. Prepare to love it.
You see a place that's alive with purpose and passion. You see a place inspired by a long tradition of untraditional excellence. You see a place built by the people, for the people of California, the nation, and the world. What do you see? You see Berkeley.
The Rugby Network, the official streaming partner of the CRAA Championships. The Rugby Network is your free destination for all your rugby content needs, including free live streaming of U.S. Major League Rugby matches, international matches, U.S. college matches, highlights, and weekly rugby shows and exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Sign up today for free at therugbynetwork.com.
Wow, what a first half we've had. We're going to have some highlights of these spectacular tries scored in the first half. First one by Cal. Beautiful off the foot and got a beautiful bounce there for Aguera to land right on that. Second try by Cal here. We thought they were going to run away with this match, but no. BYU buckled down with their physicality and got themselves back into this game. Nice step by number 12 there.
And a nice wide ball.
Santos.
From Solomon Williams to cut out all those defenders. BYU answers back with tries of their own. Big Billy Tenney, the front rower. We mentioned in the first half, Rich, both sides trading blows.
They've both been very physical. This is the match for the championship. They both know what's on the line. They're both bringing it today.
As Keelan O'Connell dots down for the Bears. But BYU never say die, eager to bounce back.
Yeah, here we have a running off a shoulder, and the ball bounces around a bit, but it lands in such a way the referee said it went backwards, and another try for the Cougars.
This finishes AIG read.
Official insurance partner of the CRAA Championships and proud supporter of the growth of rugby in the United States, AIG, the American International Group.
Always.
Now, Robert. To break, toss to break.
All right, headed to break. We're going to have a great second half coming up ahead of us, folks. Hang in there.
This is life. This is rugby. Devour it. Throw your arms around it. Breathe it in and in and in. We are not here to hold back. We are here to brave new paths, to rise up together and become something greater. This is life. This is rugby. This is the rise of rugby. This is Major League Rugby.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
They just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard.
That is fantastic! You can't match my energy, and yeah, you know it. I'm no problem when I'm on top like this by design. Yo, hey, gotta keep my fur coat close, cause I'm up boss and I'm way too far. It's picked off, it's gonna be Walker going the other way! Jackson Davis, the bus is full! There's no angle they can come for me, boy, I'm 0 degrees. Wait till...
Welcome back, rugby fans. It is a beautiful April afternoon at the University of California, Berkeley, with second half action at Witter Rugby Field. The Bears playing host to the BYU Cougars. Rich, we've got first half action behind us, looking at keys to the game. Walk us through what head coach Steve St. Pierre shared with us earlier this morning.
Well, I think both teams reflected one another. They both want to reduce errors, not be penalized, try to keep possession of the ball, and for BYU, they want to keep Cal on their back foot with their physical presence. Cal, on the other hand, they want to likewise keep BYU on their front foot, their back foot, Cal's front foot, and be patient in attack, which they have done. And they've both done a really good job. So we'll see what's going on here as we go into break right before halftime.
Since 1979, we've been searching for perfection. We've been thinking, sketching, and designing. We've been building, assembling, and strengthening. We've been cutting, shaping, and painting. reiterate his strength and beauty time and again. Our machines are made for one thing: the perfect hit. We are the crouch. We are the bind. We are the set. We are the squeeze. We are the hit. We are Rhino, home of the scrum.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Second half action in Strawberry Canyon here in beautiful Whitter, Berkeley, California. Bears versus Cougars, it's 19-all as we get started with second half action from the left boot of Captain Max Schumacher.
40 minutes until we figure out who's going to take on Navy.
All the action in semifinal rugby this afternoon as BYU is on the attack via their front rower.
Difficult to bring down.
Good carry from his fellow front rower, Lilo Clark. Good spot from Fontaine.
A nice space.
Perry gets him behind the Bears' defense, brought down by Evan Weigold. Here's Fontaine again now to Semu.
Keegan, they're starting off right where they left off, and both teams, keeping possession, getting their go forward with continuity and support. They're coming out of the gate second half just like they played in the first half.
And with the gravity of this match, there's no surprise. We mentioned semifinal rugby. The winner of this match taking on Navy in 2 weeks' time in Houston for the Collegiate National Championship.
In one of our mentioned points of the second half, what they need to do is reduce errors, and unfortunately had a knock on there by the Cougars, and now Cal getting possession early in the second half.
You know, Rich, I look back to those keys of the game that we were able to glean from both head coaches this morning. I think I look at the theme of both of those keys as executing simple rugby. At this point in the season, it's about execution, it's about physicality, it's about fitness.
And doing the simple things right.
It's a big tackle from BYU. I think that was Billy Tenney.
That was a close one, lifting the player up off his feet, but referee letting it go.
Cal's going to continue to work their forward pack. Luke Freeman offloading to the eighth man, Aguero. That hard by BYU front rower Mahuinga. There's Pat Deely now. Retains the starting shirt from last week against St. Mary's. Here comes Keelan O'Connell into a bit of space as Cal crosses the halfway. Looks like a
maul.
A poach at that breakdown.
Cal was trying to hold up a maul. And
interesting run of play there, Rich. Looks like O'Connell got into some space, poached by BYU, then taken into contact.
Held up.
Maul called and held up. So turnover Bears. Looks like BYU is going to be the first to dip into their reserves.
You see who's coming on here?
I'm not sure I saw anybody go off. That looks like the right winger, Tielu Sagala, perhaps rejoining the contest.
Well, last week in the Cal St. Mary's game, we had one of the Cal players lose a boot right in the middle of the play, went flying off the field. Had to take a little bit of time for him to put his gear back on.
As we get back underway, Solomon Williams with the put in. Aguero eager to get on the outside of the BYU scrum, keeping the ball alive. Finds a waiting Keelan O'Connell. Joe Kirsten brought down by the Cougar fly half parry. Here's the open side flanker, Cal Leibowitz for the Bears. Schumacher into Charlie Walsh in midfield. Looking for a soft shoulder. Not many of those out there, Rich.
There aren't today. No, they're not.
Schumacher with a go of his own. Tom Dixon now finding a few yards.
And the one thing you'll see in this match, and as the quarterfinals and semis have gone on at the level of this play, the ability to retain the ball in contact. Very simple things. Oh,
Cal
3 on 2.
To get going. Good speed and good space from Joe Kirsten. Brought down by Wyatt Perry again at the 5-meter line. Driven hard back by a staunch BYU defense. Joe Kirsten's not gotten up.
Oh, we got a man down, and we got movement. He's moving. Yep, might be the winger.
I think that's Joe Kirsten, the fullback.
RTIC. It's RTIC.
We'll let Joe Kirsten get the medical attention he needs right now. RTIC Outdoors, the official outdoor adventure partner of the CRAA Championships. Best-in-class gear for all your outdoor adventures, from picnics to camping trips. Overbuilt, never overpriced. Player welfare of the utmost importance here in Strawberry Canyon.
I think it may have been his shoulder. Tough to see, but he's up. Good news, he's up.
The exclusive medical providers of the CRAA Championships, Houston Physicians Hospital and All-American Orthopedic, the sports medicine program at Houston's Physicians Hospital, focusing on preventing, diagnosing, and treating sports-related injuries that are caused by rigorous exercise or sporting accidents of all ages.
Number 20, Will Shanklin. And number 15, Joe Kirsten.
Joe Kirsten, the sophomore, fullback for the Bears. His afternoon is over, replaced by Shanklin for the Bears. Cal maintaining possession, about 10 meters out of the BYU try line. Here's Williams now serving his back line. Finds Evan Weigel. There's
numbers,
space outside.
Speed.
Max Clark with a tight in and out.
Try scored.
In the corner for the Bears. That's 5 more points for Cal. Good skills from the Bears there, Rich.
Yeah, they drawing the defenders in, running off angles. Got it to the speedy wing, and in the corner he went.
Max Clark, the senior, picking up his 10th try of the season. Dotting down in that far touchline. Rich doing his fly half. Left-footed striker Max Schumacher, no favors from that touchline.
Yeah, great give of the ball here, running off angles, drawing those defenders. Well, maybe gave it a little early, but he got enough speed to make it to the corner.
Plenty of work still
Max
to
Clark
do.
has wheels, so he got to the corner quite easily. Leaving Schumacher with a rather difficult kick from the corner with our picked up afternoon breeze up here in the hills of Berkeley.
A difficult sideline conversion for the captain Schumacher. One of 2 Rudy Schultz finalists in today's action. The other, of course, being the fly half Wyatt Perry for the Cougars.
Oh, well struck. Oh, off the post. Boy, did he hit that nicely.
Well struck indeed. No members bounce for Schumacher this afternoon. keeps our score 24-19. 7 minutes gone in this second half. Wyatt Perry, the other Rudy Schultz finalist, will get things underway for the Cougars.
See what Wyatt Perry is going to do here for a kickoff. Looks like he's going to come over here to our near side and try to lay it up. Oh, he's going deep.
Gathered neatly by Aguero, keeps the ball alive to a waiting Evan Weigold, speeding down this right touchline. Beating a number of Cougar defenders as he crosses into BYU territory. Cal wants to play quick as Pat Deely carries in for the Bears. Space and numbers on this left side if the Bears can see it. Brand Santos with a good left step. Unable to get out of the open arms of Ben Austin, the Cougar 8th man. Here comes the Bears number 8, Aguero. Getting past big Billy Tenney.
Oh, we got numbers right too.
Show and go from Schumacher. As the Bears work towards the 22. Brand Santos now finds Keelan O'Connell. Brought down by Semu.
Yeah.
Williams wants to go quick.
Tap.
Knockback 10.
He's in.
Finding plenty of space as Williams always on the boil. The young scrum half.
Williams, California.
Spotting a bit of space and exploiting that space for the Bears. Picking up 5 more points for Cal.
Yeah, BYU defender still holding the ball carrier in the tackle. It was a quick whistle by the referee, and they were just getting up and a little sleepy, and Cal tapped and went quickly, and off into space he went for the try.
Looks like O'Connell with the carry in. Infringement spotted by referee Ciccarella. But a good scrum half is always on the boil, never unplugs, as does Solomon Williams, the freshman from Carlsbad, California, picking up 5 points for his side. Points at a premium this afternoon, Rich.
Pickle juice after the kick.
Slightly easier angle for Schumacher.
Yeah, especially for a lefty here from this corner. He struck the ball really well last time, so let's see if he has the same trueness through the post. Just missed it last time. Oh, that's good.
It's a great kick from Schumacher, picking up 2 more points. It's 31-19 Bears. Pickle Juice Sport, the official hydration partner of the CRAA Championship. 10X, 15X, the electrolytes of common sports drinks. 0 calories, 0 sugar. Get the edge you need to finish.
For those of you who's hearing the cheering, we've got a Cal replacement coming on, number 16.
California replacement coming to the match, number 16, Nathan Zylstra, for number 2, Cade Chris.
Nathan Zylstra making his way into the match. Out the entire season with injury and co-captain with Max Schumacher.
Oh, more
as
space.
Emilio Shea finds
Emilio
himself into some space. Brought down by Lilo Clark for the Cougars.
There's actually nothing more exciting when those front row players get the ball and rumble.
No doubt about it. Evan Weigold keeps the ball alive to Cal Leibowitz in good support. As Cal earns their way into the 22, another infringement in their territory by the Cougars.
Oh, this time referee's holding it up a bit to have a conversation, maybe.
That's right, Rich. I think we both heard that double burst of the whistle from referee Tyler Ciccarella. A number of infringements by the Cougars deep in their own territory. Rich, walk us through the implications of those repeated infringements.
Well, rugby picked up a couple years ago something similar to hockey. We call it the sin bin. And if you are infringing or continually causing problems, you will get a yellow card, similar to soccer. But you have to leave the game. Unlike soccer where you get to stick around, rugby, they boot you out into the sin bin for a period of time where you're out of the game and you play a man down. So right there, the referee was giving a few warnings. Hey, let's not do this again or else I'm going to yellow card you.
Staying on the right side of the referee was one of those victory conditions from BYU head coach Steve St. Pierre.
Oh, Cal's first maul.
Jumper.
Here we go.
First throw in from Zylstra. Good work from the Bears, edging towards the try line.
Try awarded.
That's 5 points from the Bears. I think that's replacement Zylstra. Not been on the pitch 5 minutes.
Zylstra.
You love to see that from the returning leader and captain. Like I said, out all season with injury is Nate Zylstra.
Great maul here. The first one of the match, I believe, for the Cal Bears. They drive it forward, going at an angle where there's no defense to even contest it. Yeah, and the replacement that came in, Zylstra, as a try scorer.
A storybook return for the captain returning to action. It's 36-19 in favor of the Bears.
We saw a little bit.
Schumacher will add 2 more.
We saw a little bit of this last week against St. Mary's. Cal just kind of kicks it into just a different gear in the second half.
Semifinal rugby for these two sides. Don't count BYU out yet.
Oh, just dropped in the corner. There we go.
Schumacher cleverly working that left-footed draw.
California.
38-19, quarter hour gone in this second half. As Perry will get us restarted.
Big part of this game is a thing called fitness. And when you get into the 60th minute, you get into the 70th minute, it's who is in shape to reduce the amount of errors that are caused. Cal's really coming out here the second half, just showing BYU they mean business.
Especially given today's conditions. It's blue skies, it's sunshine. I promise you it's considerably warmer down on the pitch for these two teams. As the Bears picking up another penalty, an opportunity to exit their territory from the left foot of Schumacher. A couple of penalties in a row for BYU, Rich. They'll want to get back on the right side of this referee.
Yeah, unfortunately, both errors were costly. They were within the 22, and the result, 2 tries.
Zylstra with his second throw of the afternoon on the far touchline. Finds his jumper. This time out the back. Schumacher releasing his back line as Santos carries into the midfield. Bit untidy at that ruck. And a knock on spotted by referee Ciccarella. That's a turnover by the Bears. And an attacking scrum for the Cougars just outside their 22.
Yeah, and Cougars have got to capitalize with something here, the opportunity with the ball here. They really have gelled the last part of the season here, and we'll see if they can do it in this last part of the second half. We're just about halfway through it.
Rich getting another look. Looks like this short side winger for the Cougars joining the open side layered attack for BYU.
Yeah, there's nobody for BYU on the short side.
As Fontaine makes their intentions known. Spot
oh, there it is.
Back.
There's space.
Hammer finds some space, getting around the Bears. It's a good run from Hammer. Quick to recycle are the Cougars.
Oh!
Unable to maintain possession.
And you know what?
A hard line from Kyle Clintworth, the lock.
What I was going to say there is he had support on his left and his right, and he chose to take on the defender. Should have given that ball up.
No doubt about it. Another handling error by BYU. Seems a turnover. An attacking platform for the Bears. just short of their own 10-meter line. Options left and right for the Bears. We're again seeing that stacked look from Cal.
One thing when I was coaching rugby that I would try to teach the kids, it's a hard thing to learn, but like other sports, the ball moves faster than the man. People think they're faster, but they're not. If you can move the ball on a situation like that where you've got two supporting guys, move that ball because it moves more quickly than the man does running.
We saw that good bit of skill from the Cougars as they exited their territory. Good spot ball out the back. Taysom Hammer putting down the hammer, getting around the Bears. Unfortunately, unable to maintain possession. And it's a penalty.
Yeah, one of the props, I think, dropping their shoulder there.
Bears want to go again. Looks like that tap wasn't taken through the mark. Rich, of course, the law is dictating that if you do take a quick tap, the ball must go through the mark, given by the referee. Solomon Williams not doing so there, bringing it back here. Schumacher will send it to that.
Happens all the time. The referee's back will be turned. It'll almost be on the mark, but if the referee's back is turned and he's not watching what's happening, he'll whistle it back up, bring it back.
Another good kick from Schumacher as the Bears have earned their way back into Cougar territory. Max Schumacher, the leader of this Bears side, the senior out of Sacramento, California. Jesuit high school graduate. And we've mentioned a few times now the Rudy Schultz finalist. The award, of course, being awarded to the top player of collegiate rugby as the Bears are back on attack. Schumacher unable to connect with Shanklin, the replacement fullback.
And I know you're a Cal grad, but I got to throw in that I believe Rudy Schultz was a Santa Clara Bronco.
You love to see it. If I remember correctly in my research, Rich, I think a two-time World War veteran, an Olympian, certainly worthy of an award and a distinction named after him. Scrum directly in front of
You can really hear the Cal fans right below us.
As BYU gets underway. Here's Perry, Samu.
Oh, again, we had numbers.
Taysom Hammer unable to maintain possession there. Backwards rules the referee as the Cougars stay on attack. Here's Clintworth now into the Bears' defense. Perry. Wide ball.
Oh, there's an infraction.
Must be a shepherding call. Surprised not to get that call by referee Ciccarella. It's play on as Fontaine carries. Tackled by his opposite number, Williams. Big pick and go by Mahinga. Cougars doing a good job, Rich, staying patient on the attack.
Yeah, but Cal getting a shoulder on each of these attacks and just bringing it right to a halt.
Another double burst of the whistle from the referee, Tyler Ciccarella here. Having conversations with both sides. Looks like this will be the first water break we're seeing in today's action. I think we skipped right through it in the first half, but
we did.
Welcome water break. We'll take a break here. Back with second half action from Berkeley.
Okay.
don't need that kind of play. Now they're a man down. Oh, the skills. Evangelina.
There's the soccer skills.
We're back, second half action here at Witter Rugby Field in Berkeley. It's 38-19, Bears in front of the BYU Cougars.
We got one replacement coming in off this break. We've got Hugo Schroeder coming in for number 4, Pat Deely in the second row for Cal.
Rich getting straight into his work here. First order of business, an attacking scrum for the Bears.
All going weak side.
Aguero doing a good job of getting outside his man. Williams now to big Tom Dixon with the carry.
Oh, he's been a workhorse today, second row.
Nice hot line from Rand Santos underneath fly half Schumacher.
Well, the ball was lost. Oh, no, they retained it.
Unable to find hands as Williams, but gathered up calmly by Luke Freeman. Dixon again.
Somebody's got their hands in there.
Rich, another penalty.
Not staying on their feet.
Inside the 22 by BYU. They'll want to keep an eye on that penalty count deep in their own territory.
Yeah, and what I suspect here, we're going to see a kick for points here, 3 points attempt on this penalty. As we wind down with just over 15 minutes left, I think when Cal gets the ball, we're going to see a lot of picking and driving. Nothing fancy, just keep possession of the ball.
It's semifinal rugby this afternoon in Strawberry Canyon. The strategy's got to be take the points when they're on offer. And don't discount BYU. They play a physical brand of rugby, hard-charging brand of rugby. Had an opportunity, Rich, to catch up with Coach Clark this morning. He shared their ability to maintain their feet after contact. It's a standout tactic of their play this season, as Schumacher will look to add 3 points from this penalty attempt.
Through it goes.
3 more for the Bears from the left boot of Schumacher. Brings our score 41-19. Just over a quarter hour remain in the second half.
Cougars got to dig deep.
Unable to gather that restart are the Bears. Looks like the ball dribbled into touch.
Yeah, and then it looks like I think a couple players clanked heads.
I think that's Phil Ackroyd, the AR on the far touchline,
helping out.
Possession for the Bears. It'll be a throw-in for replacement hooker Nate Zylstra.
I don't think we're going to see anything fancy from Cal here for the next 15 minutes. It's going to be just keeping possession of the ball and working the clock.
Good spot of space from Williams. The objective, Rich, both sides to advance this afternoon. Regardless of how you get there, it's about getting into the final in 2 weeks' time. Here comes BYU, working their way towards midfield. That's Fontaine, wants to play the short side. Good carry from the big winger, Segala.
BYU crunching it down. See if they can get a score.
Here comes Perry now. Good line from Campbell. Unable to.
Yeah, isolated in the tackle there.
Here comes Tenney. A lot of carries and hard yards from Big Billy Tenney this afternoon.
Yeah, but they're getting shoulders, and that's what Coach Clark wanted, and that slows down their attack.
The number one victory condition from Coach Clark this afternoon was keep them in front of us. As BYU continues to remain patient in attack, unable to connect.
There you go.
Resulting in a skill breakdown for the Cougars.
Just an unforced error. Pressure a defense.
Looks like we're seeing more replacements as outside center John Campbell makes way for replacement center.
Yeah, Billy Tenney is leaving the game. I believe.
Tenney's off.
2 front rowers. Gabe Mahuinga, Billy Tenney.
I'm seeing Tavita Ika checking in at outside center duties for John Campbell. We'll get replacement numbers
on the
for
front
those
row.
Cougars momentarily. Virtually scrum center for the Bears. We see good spot ball out the back, unable to connect with Will Shanklin. Bears want to keep that ball alive. Rich, you mentioned nothing fancy in this second half. 13 minutes remain in this match.
The Cougars have had a couple opportunities now. They squandered the last one a little bit, but here they go again. Now they're in this. Cal's defense, see if they can remain solid.
Good territory opportunity for BYU. The scrum up against this touch line gives White Perry and his back line maximum space around this open side to pull a move out of their top pocket as they spin a nice wide ball to Olvera, the left winger. Brought down by Will Shanklin as the Cougars work their way over halfway. Fontaine, here's Perry. Good skills from the Cougars. As Ben Austin.
Yeah, he just looped it around his back. Well, we got some wheels here.
Brooke Vaituhi finds some space.
And he's in.
Crossing the whitewash for the Cougars.
Great pass around and in the tackle. The Cougar was able to be wrapped around by the tackler, but he kept the right hand open, got it to his wing, and then he ran through 3 or 4 defenders.
That's the second try of the afternoon for junior blindside flanker Brooke Vaitohi, finding himself into some space. Picking up 5 more points for his side directly underneath the post.
Yeah, Tyson Hammer should have an easy chip shot.
Not to put the cart before the horse, but assuming he does so, as those flags go up, it's 41-26 Bears over the BYU Cougars. 11 minutes remain here at Witter Rugby Field in Berkeley.
BYU gets the ball back on the kickoff. See if we can punch another score in. Another replacement, number 23 and 22 for Cal.
Number 22, Nate Salter checking into the match for the Bears. I think I saw Max Clark, the winger, come off.
I saw this last week versus St. Mary's about the 70th minute. Some fresh legs come in.
Good tackle by the replacement winger for the Bears. That might be Alex Brundage, as BYU's working to exit their own end.
He lost it forward.
The critical error by BYU deep in their own territory.
That was unfortunate. They had a mishandle in the pass. When he got in his hands, he didn't know what to do, really. Didn't choose to immediately go forward.
Number 22,
Dropped the ball.
For Will Shanklin. Also coming to the match, number 23, Alex Brundage. For number 11, Max Clark.
Confirming over the PA, we've got Alex Brundage checking into the contest at left wing for starter Max Clark. And it unfortunately looks like Will Shanklin, the replacement for the injured Joe Kirsten, has also come up lame from that collision, replaced by senior Nate Salter out of Xavier High School in New York.
Let's see if Cal's forward pack is going to push this all the way in from the 5 meter. See if they can walk it in.
It's an excellent attacking opportunity for the Bears to respond to that BYU try.
You don't see that more modernly anymore. You know, the walking in scrums just don't happen. Packs are pretty well evenly matched these days.
The technicality and focus going into the scrum these days. Harder and harder to push an opposing 8 men or women over the line as Aguero's going to pick and go short. Didn't look like a wrap tackle from Wyatt Perry. I think referee Tyler Ciccarello.
He's reaching into his card. Yep. Pocket and gave him a yellow card for that non-wrap diving at the knees. And a penalty try.
It's a penalty try as well. That infringement by Wyatt Perry. Unfortunately, looking at how much time remains in this match, I think that might be it.
That's a tough, tough, tough way to end towards the end of the game. You'll see here, he does not wrap up. He just dove at his knees, whistled up immediately, not only into the sin bin, which would be, I think, essentially for the rest of the game almost, and the penalty try awarded.
Penalty try, an automatic 7 points. Sees the Bears up 46-26. 7.5 minutes remain in this second half of Witter. Nate Salter with an early touch.
Oh.
As Santos keeps the ball alive to Weigold, who's going to be brought down inside the Cal 22. It's a good tackle from replacement front rower James Tenney, checking in for his brother Billy. Cal eager to exit their territory. As Connor Olvera gets a full head of steam. Here comes replacement Tenney again. An infringement spotted by the referee, by the Bears. As Fontaine wants to go quickly, working their way into the Cal 22.
He was a little bit isolated there for a moment, but he got the support there when he needed it.
Here's Feta Toso, another replacement front rower for Cougars.
Advantage being played for that defender leaving his feet. Little chip kick through.
Spot of space from Connor Olvera. Picked up quickly by Max Schumacher, and will come back for that penalty.
Go for the line out, and that hopefully a working maul to try to score. That's what they did in the first half.
6 minutes remain, Rich. Got to go for the line out at this point in the match.
I scored, was that 2 tries off their maul in the first half? So let's see if they can get one in here towards the end of the game.
Powerful,
short line out.
Powerful forward pack from BYU on display this afternoon.
Referee whistling up on the numbers in the line out.
We've got another replacement front rower for the Cougars. Mafi Mahuinga with the throw in. Down to James Tenney with a big carry towards the try line.
Oh, Cal Pickett? Nope. BYU still got possession.
Cougars eager to pick up a quick try. Not much time remaining in this second half.
Oh, ball popped loose. It's up and around. Scrum half's hands.
Quick whistle from referee Ciccarella. Unsure what that ruling was, but it looks like it's a turnover by the Cougars for the Bears.
I think he was communicating with the AR as to what happened when the ball popped up.
California replacement number 19, Matt Stahl.
But BYU's going to... BYU's, he may have been held up.
I think that's right.
He got held up, so they lost possession. Cal's giving the ball.
Cal continuing to make some changes. Cal Leibowitz, the open side, making way for Matt Dodd as Cal wants to run the ball out of their own territory via Nate Salter. Here comes Dodd with an early touch. Looks like a bit of miscommunication there, Rich, as the Bears are working to execute their pick and jams out of their own end.
Yeah, I think there's a small infraction there with one player just being in front of the other.
Happening directly in front of the referee. It's a turnover by the Bears and an excellent attacking scrum opportunity for BYU. Full changes.
Yeah, full brand new front row for BYU.
We see number 22, Spencer Goodman, lining up on that blindside flanker position, as well as Kaike Piena, the replacement open side flanker for BYU. Here's Fontaine to Semu with a show and go. Nice flat ball from BYU.
That was a nice dummy on the crash and then popping it right out. Cal's there on defense.
BYU quick to get into their shape. Miscommunication
oh my.
there.
Here we go.
Quick ball from
He's got the pace.
I don't know that he sees a chasing Ika from BYU as Santos goes over for a coast-to-coast try for the Bears.
California.
Rich, you got to think that's going to do it with 2.5 minutes left in this second half. 53-26 and 2 more to come.
Just an unfortunate error for the Cougars there on the passing. Ball came free and off to the races.
Gran Santos with all the speed, jumping on that quick ball. It's an unfortunate skill breakdown from BYU. They look to have a bit of momentum of attack, but unable to connect on that run of play. Sees Gran Santos, the freshman center, go coast to coast.
Tale of two halves. And we came in 19-19, and Cal has done a great job capitalizing on every single little thing that was a mistake on BYU's side.
You look at today's conditions, of course, BYU making the trip west to Berkeley. Sun bearing down on us. You wonder if fitness is beginning to play a factor in this second half as just under 90 seconds remain.
Nice high kick.
Miscommunication.
Nice take, yeah, miscommunication.
And an excellent gather by the chasing wing, Connor Olvera, for BYU.
Oh, big man.
BYU not done yet. 37 seconds remain. Fontaine spots some good space.
Oh, good defensive front there for Cal, holding him up on the shoulders. Not going to give anything here with moments left.
Yeah, that's a good tackle from Nate Salter. A hard
advantage
run
being
BYU.
played.
Looks like space and numbers on the open side for the Cougars if they can use it. As the Cougars power their way over, picking up a consolidation try.
Nice response.
Zeros do read on the clock.
Nice take on the kickoff. Cal a little discombobulated. They retain possession, able to get another try at the end of the game here.